Hello everyone, Catweazle here. Welcome back to Arkham Horror, the Dunwich Horror, Turn 3. Right, our first player is Daisy. Daisy is currently here at the general store. And what she's going to do, we've had a bit of a rethink. Though we've got 2 clues at the Unnameable and we've got 2 clues at the Historical Society, the Historical Society doesn't get a gate that often. Well, not as often as the other locations. So what we're going to do is I think those will stay there for a bit. So we're going to take a bit of a risk, and instead of Daisy coming down here to pick those up and William picking the Unnameable up, she's going to pick the Unnameable ones up. Then she's going to head back to try and pick them up at the Historical Society later on. We're just banking that we won't get a gate there. Right, so that's what she's going to do. It's Monterey next. Monterey's here in the downtown streets. He's just going to go into the gate at Independence Square. Then it's William, and William, he's going to move down here to the witch house. It's just so he can get a clue. Ideally we want him to take this skeleton on, but we may as well pick up a clue at the witch house on the way, and then he'll head in this direction. Unfortunately, he hasn't really got much movement. It's going to take him a couple of turns to get there. But I'm not too worried. If we get a monster surge on the woods, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, as we've got quite a few investigators that need monster trophies. So we're just going to let it slide, I think. And he may as well get a clue as just spend his time out in the streets. Agnes, she's at Bishopsbrook Bridge. I've been practicing, and she's just going to move 2 spaces because up here we've got that cultist and we don't want the cultist going into the vortex. Then what she's going to do, I think rather than close the gate straight away, I think she'll pick up a few of these clues. There are 2 clues at Gardener's Place here, and that'll give her 5 clues, which means she can seal the gate then. So again, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to have a monster surge in Dunwich. She needs some monster trophies. Okay, but we've got 3 gates on the board, so we've got to be very mindful that we don't let too many open. So just a bit of a fine balancing act at the moment. Right, okay, let's get straight on with the upkeep phase. Oh, actually, before I do that, quick clarification. When Agnes got to Bishopsbrook Bridge, she bumped into Joey the Rat. Rereading the card, she should have really had a look at what the top of the unique item deck was. Even if to say I haven't got any money. But we've been fortunate. We don't have to do it. And the reason for that is we had forgery in play. If you remember, this was in play until the end of the Mythos phase, and as you can see, until the end of next turn, anytime an investigator draws 1 or more unique items for any reason, he draws 1 fewer card to a minimum of 0. Joey was only offering 1, so 1 fewer card than 1 is the minimum of 0. So I sort of backed into doing that correctly. So that's just to explain that, if anybody was querying it. Bobby Mon did ask about it. He's right, in normal circumstances we should have turned over that card even if we didn't have the money to pay for it. But fortunately that headline was in play, so we didn't have to. Right, so that is everything caught up with, I think. So let's get on with the upkeep phase. And here we are with Daisy. Now, Daisy only needs 3 movement. So I'm going to use a focus just to move it on 3. She is going to the Unnameable. It's not a nice location. We might have to use sneak. So we'll just put it up and just give her a chance. I'd have kept it at 4. If it had only been 2 away, I'd have kept it at 4 because then we could have used a tome. But unfortunately, it's 3 movement. So she can't use any of her tomes anyway. But she can use, again, alchemical process. Casting modifier +0. Sanity cost is 0 because of a special ability. Cast an exhaust to gain £3. $3, sorry. Obviously, I refreshed it because we're in the upkeep phase. So let's try and get $3 again. She's got 5 law. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Blimey, she didn't do it. So she did get $3. Oh, bloody hell, 5 dice and we'll get $3. Obviously, I'm not going to do a re-roll for that. Nothing bad happened other than we didn't get $3. Fish. Okay, right, next up is Monterey Jack. And here we are with Monterey. He's just going in the gate. What we'll do, he only needs 1 speed really. So we'll move him down to 1 speed just to keep his sneak up. It's always a good ploy that, depending on if a monster jumps out on him or whatever, we have the option to sneak by. That's that. We'll have to remember though to use that focus to move his fight up by the time he comes out of the gate, because 5 is his best attribute for sealing the gate. But other than that, everything looks funky, so that is it for Monterey. Oh, no it isn't. One of the other things that I missed last turn, and thanks to Matt for pointing it out, I did fail the evade check against the maniac. So I should have lost, well, Monterey should have lost 1 stamina. So we'll take that off. So he is down to 6 stamina. I should have known there was a correction. Right, but that's corrected now and he's all up to date. Okay, right, let's move on to William Yorick. Here's William. There's not much for William to do, unfortunately. He can't really get very far, so he's going to go to the witch house. He needs 3 movement for that, so that's fine. I don't think we're going to change any of his other attributes, so we won't use his focus. So that's pretty much it for William. Right, let's move across to Agnes. Here's Agnes. What are we going to do with Agnes? Well, I think what she's going to do is... Now, we don't have to make a horror check against the cultist. So let's just go completely overboard and use a 2 focus to get up to 4 fight. With that, it's magically immune, so she can't use fetch stick and she can't use wither, but she can use a 38 revolver, which is +3, plus the 4, I think it's -1, so that'll be 6 dice. So that's her setup for taking the cultist on. Right, so that's everybody sorted out. Let's get on to the movement phase. And our first player to go is Daisy. Okay, so she's going to go 1, she's going to knock William out of the way and go 1, 2, 3. She's going to pick up these 2 clues. She's now got 3 clues, so she's halfway towards her personal story, which is Groovy Man. So she's moved to the unnameable. Next up, it is Monterey Jack. Here's Monterey, and he's just going to pop up to Independence Square. He won't go through till the encounter phase, but we may as well see where he's going. He's going to the Abyss. Very nice, a -2 gate. Could have been better, but it could have been worse. Oh, that's Monterey's go. And let's pop back and see William Yorick. Here's Will, and he's going to go 1, 2, 3, and take this clue from the witch house. It's quite a high frequency gate, the witch house, so we may as well get the clue. So he's now got 2 clues. And that's it for his movement. So let's pop up to Dunwich and see Agnes. And here's Agnes leaving Bishop's Brook Bridge. So she's going to move 2, 1, 2, and obviously she bumps straight into our friend the cultist. He's magically immune, but at least there's no horror check. He's now -1, I believe. just check that. Yes, he is -1. So she's going to use the 38 revolver and her fight 4. That's going to give her 7 dice, but -1 for the cultist of Yog-Sothoth. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 dice. Make sure she's got no other bits and bobs. No, 6 dice. Needs 1 success. Blimey, these dice are rubbish. Right, so she's lost a stamina, which is annoying. I'm going to swap these dice out. That's twice in a row. We haven't got a single 6 off of. Get rid of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So she's going to have another go. Right, that's she's lost 2 stamina. Oh dear. Hey, I tell you what, that's the worst I've rolled for a long time, isn't it? Deary me. Right, let's give the first lot another try. At last, 3 successes, but not until we lost 2 sanity though. Right, she gets that as a trophy, so she's got one of the monster trophies that she needs. Whew, that was rubbish. Very bad rolling. Okay. So at least she managed to kill it eventually. So I could have done without losing 2 stamina though. But in a way we were lucky in that we were only fighting a cultist. If we'd been fighting something that took 2 stamina or 3 stamina off us, we'd have been in real trouble. So in a way we've got away with it there. Right, so that's it, I think, for the movement phase. Let's move on to the encounter phase. And here's Daisy, the Unnameable. So that's the green deck, Merchant District. Give them a quick shuffle. Quick cut. Let's see what the Unnameable has in store for us, if it'll focus. You hear the scurrying and squeaking of a horde of rats from inside the walls. Abruptly, you realise that they are moving to surround you. Pass a speed -1 check to make it to the front door first. If you fail, you are devoured, because we can't be lost in time and space. Oh, how annoying! And I moved a bloody speed down. Thinking about sneak checks, didn't I? So a speed's 3, so she's got 2 dice. She's got 3 clues, which she'll obviously have to use. Go on, Daisy. Oh, damn it! Right, so first clue. She only lost 1 clue, thank God for that. Oh, that was close, man. So she loses a clue. Oh, why did it have to be that card? Lost in time and space. Which means devoured. Well, we got away with it. And we only had to use 1 clue. Blimey, O'Reilly. Right. Okay. It is now Monterey Jack's turn. So let's move up to Independence Square. And here's Monterey. Obviously, instead of an actual encounter, he just goes straight through the gate to the abyss, which is down here. Excuse me again, I still haven't got rid of this cold. So he's moved to the abyss. Next up is William Yorick. And here's William at the Witch House. French Hill District, so it's a blue deck. And let's see what we get. Witch House. A gate and a monster appear. Hey, we're having one of them turns, aren't we? Okay. Well, he's going to get sucked through a gate. 4 on the doom track. Damn. Well, at least we can see where it's going. The Plateau of Leng is where he's going to end up. So let's put him up there. Obviously I've got to stand him up as he will be delayed. And we need a monster. What do we get? We get a Yithian, which isn't a very nice monster. Yeah, if you fail an horror check, you are lost in time and space, which means devoured. So we'll have to make sure we pass a time and space check on this baby when William comes out. Ugh, a Yithian. Damn it! Right, oh, I was just checking. No, that's a diamond, and obviously this is a triangle, so that's not going to help us. An independent square is an octagon. So we're just going to have to fight it unless it moves. Hopefully it'll move into the streets. Right, so that's a Yithian. Well, what a rubbish phase we're having. Next, Agnes Baker, except she's in a street location, so she doesn't have any sort of encounter. Right, so now it's time for the Otherworld encounter phase, and that means Monterey. Here's Monterey. He's in the abyss, so that's a red or a blue. First one is a red, which is the Dreamlands, another time or other. The ground shifts under your feet, sending you tumbling head over heels. Lose 1 stamina. Well, that's not so bad because he's got good stamina. So he's down to 5 though. But not ideal. But at least some bloody monster hasn't appeared. Let's discard that. And that's the end of his Otherworld encounter phase. So next up it's William, who's in the Plateau of Leng. Here's William. Obviously he's stood up for the purposes of the video. He's actually delayed. It's normally the other way around when you play. You lay them on the side. Right, what colour? Oh, we've got Plateau of Leng. I don't even need to check the colours because I can see Plateau of Leng on it. If you find yourself faced with a difficult decision, the ancient being has offered you power, but warns that it comes at a price. If you accept, draw 2 spells and 1 madness card. Hang on, I'm just going to check that he doesn't lose out on his personal story or anything. Won't be a sec. Okay. No, it doesn't affect his personal story. I had sort of vaguely remembered about him being driven insane or something, but he's not being driven insane, he's just taking a madness card. So, I think that's worth it for 2 spells. So here are the madness cards, so let's give them a quick shuffle. And obviously a quick cut. And what do we get? He's agoraphobic. Upkeep. Lose 1 sanity if you are in a street area. Yeah, that's okay. We'll just have to watch it though because he's only got 3 speed. So he's agoraphobic now. So that's that. But he does get to pick 2 spells. His first one is Law Monster. This must be a Dunwich spell. Casting modifier -1. Sanity cost 1. So this would be a good one for Daisy. It wouldn't cost her anything. Upkeep. You may cast and exhaust while in Arkham to choose 1 monster on the board, including the sky, but not the outskirts. Move that monster to your current space. This is good. We need people to get monster trophies. This can bring the monsters right to them. So that's a good one. Next. Greater Banishment. Casting -2, sanity cost 2. Upkeep. You may cast and discard to choose 1-dimensional symbol other than the moon. All monsters with that symbol are returned to the monster cup. Okay. Good one to keep in reserve if we get some really nasty monsters out. Not worth just using it on that Yithian. But if we get something really nasty coming out, like a deep young or something like that, that could be useful. Right, so those are the 2 spells that he's picked up. He's deal with the alien being. Hopefully it won't come back to bite him. And that is it for William Yorick. And it is also it for the Otherworld encounter phase. So I'll just put the gate deck back. Right, next up, it's everybody's favourite phase, the laugh and chuckle phase. And welcome back to Arkham and Dunwich. Right, let's see what the Mythos phase has got in store. We have got a gate burst at Gardener's Place. Oh, that is really annoying. Not because we've got a gate there, it just opens as a normal gate, but we had 2 bloody clues there. Ugh. Right. Ugh. We're up to 5 doom, which isn't ideal either. Gate and a gate stand, lose that bloody clue. Where's the clues appear at? Cold Spring Glen, Bishop's Brook Bridge. Oh right, I think they both turn up. I'll check that, because they're the same board. So it can't be one rather than the other. You know, it's not like one's on the Kingsport board or something like that. It must be because it's a gate burst that you get 2 clues as a sort of like minor silver lining. So we didn't lose the 2 clues, they just disappeared somewhere else on us. And we can always pick up the Bishop's Brook Bridge one when we're, if somebody else travels up there, or Agnes manages to get some money and gets a train back. So we've got to draw a monster. Fortunately, this doesn't go to the monster limit. And it's a ghost. I hate these guys. Right, bloody ghost. I'll put it on a different stand, seeing as it's going up here. I'll put it on a black stand. So we've got a ghost at Gardener's Place. Not ideal. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gates open. So hopefully William and Monterey are going to get these gates closed pretty sharpish, because otherwise we're in a bit of bother. Okay. Monster movement. Oh, so we do get movement on the Yithian. So we've got slashes, triangles and stars. Yithian goes to French Hill. The ghost doesn't move, it's yellow monster. And the skeleton doesn't move because it's a crescent. Yes, it's hexagons moving on black. Right, neighbourhood sale. So this will replace Happy Days Are Here Again. Environment urban. Investigators who end their movement in the East Town streets may draw 2 common items and purchase one, none or both of them at list price, discarding any that are not purchased. Well, we haven't got any money, thanks to good old Daisy not being able to cast a spell. So, but it may come in handy. You never know. Some money may fall into our laps. Put that there at East Town Streets and we'll discard Happy Days Are Here Again. So that's the Mythos phase. Quick review of the turn. Well, it was a bit pants, to be honest. I didn't like that turn. One, I rolled appallingly. I don't think I've ever rolled that badly. That was, oh, Agnes, what were you doing, Petal? Yeah, we've got unlucky again. It's shades of the first turn in Kingsport. We've had 2 gates open that turn. One which has delayed William, and one that is up at Gardener's Place. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gates open. Yog's at 5 on his doom track, and it's not ideal. We can't seal any of these gates, so we've got no elder signs, so we're not going to take any doom off anytime soon. We've got to crack on a bit, I think, and get some of these actually shut, if not sealed. So who's first next turn? What are we going to do? Well, it's Monterey first next turn. So obviously he's in the abyss. He's not delayed, thankfully. So he's going to try and move to the next part of the abyss where he will have another encounter. Then we've got William. All William's going to do is stand up, or rather lie down. And that's all he can do because he's delayed. He has got a couple of spells last turn. Law Monster's good. Greater Banishment could be good. So what we'll do is we'll just stand him up. He'll have to have another otherworld encounter in the first part of the Plateau of Leng. Nothing we can do about that. He's now agoraphobic, but I think it's worth it for those 2 spells. We'll just have to be very careful on his movement. So I think he'll struggle to actually... He'll struggle to get places now because he's only got 3 movement. He can't finish in a street without losing a sanity. So we'll see how we go on. Right, he might get an opportunity to kill a monster before he comes out of the Plateau of Leng. If he does, he has got enough movement to get down to South Church for that blessing. So at least that's a minor silver lining. After him is Agnes Baker. Well, she was going to go to Gardener's Place and pick up those 2 clues, but she can't really do that now. But there are 2 clues at Cold Spring Glen now, which is just 1 move away. So she's going to pop in there and she's going to pick the 2 clues up from there. So, the Lord taketh, but the Lord giveth. So, in fact, it's just a bit closer than they were at Gardener's Place. The only bad thing is we've got a ghost and a gate. Once she picks those up, she will have 5 clues. So she could go into the Wizard's Hill Gate, which is unguarded, and hopefully shut it and seal it. So if we get enough time, hopefully we'll be able to get a gate seal on. And who will be next? Last will be Daisy. Daisy's going to try and cast bloody alchemical process again, hopefully with a bit better results. So in fact, yeah, it wasn't just 12 dice that Agnes rolled. There was like 5 dice that Daisy rolled as well that didn't get a success. Bloody hell, that was awful. I had to spend a clue, didn't I? Spent a couple of clues that turn, unfortunately. Or was it just 1? Yeah, just the 1. Ah, damn it. Well, what's she going to do? Well, she's down to 2 clues again now because she had to spend that clue. She can't get to the Historical Society because that's 5 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and she can only do 4 movement. So I think if she goes to the Science Building, picks up that clue, that'll put her back up to 3, and then she's 4 movement away from the Historical Society and picking those 2 clues up. So again, doesn't look like she's going to be able to use a tome anytime soon. As soon as she gets 6 clue tokens though, then she's going to look to start using tomes. Right, and she'll be the last player, so I think that's it. Okay, so a pretty manky turn really. Some awful rolling. We didn't get very lucky with the encounters either, getting a gate opening on us. I think we ended up with, what is it? How many? I think we ended up with 2 doom tokens going on Yog. That's not ideal. So, and we've got a Yithian and a ghost, which aren't the best monsters in the world either. Okay, right, well, that's it for the turn. Let's see, hopefully we'll have a better turn next turn. Yes, thanks for watching. Thanks for all the subscriptions and all the views and all the comments and all the tips. Much appreciated as always. And that's it for Arkham Horror, the Dunwich Horror, turn 3. I hope you join me for turn 4. But until then, this is me, Catweazle, signing off. Toodaloo.